A story now about the conflict between the need for new housing and the impact it has on our communities. One village in Suffolk is almost doubling in size after what a local councillor described as a free-for-all for developers. Residents of Bacton say they welcome new faces but worry the pace of growth is too fast. Developers say they're contributing to the area financially and building dozens of affordable homes. Our political correspondent Ben Schofield reports.
I'm very, very happy here. I reckon I've fallen on my feet in Bacton.
Bacton is booming, and Josephine Jackson is one of its newest residents. She appreciates the local shop, doctors, pub and garage, and her neighbours.
The welcome is brilliant. There are even two people who come and bring a welcoming kit when you move in.
The village's 16th century pub also enjoying a boost in trade.
It's happened very quickly, must admit, but like I said, by us it's a nice change and the people are fantastic.
But could Bacton handle more growth?
No, because I don't think there's much space, in my opinion. I don't know where they could.
I think that would be really pushing it for poor old Bacton.
That's because since 2017, 6 new housing estates have been granted permission in the village.
Lawrence Homes here, Middle School Prospective site here, Taylor Wimpey site here.
It means Bacton is set to almost double. At the census in 2011, the village had 499 households. At the next census, 10 years later, that had risen marginally to 512. But the new housing estates have permission to add 396 new homes in the village.
The capacity for our infrastructure to cope with that is one of the major challenges, I think.
Locals like David fear for the road network, water system and part-time doctor's surgery.
What would you say to someone who said, well, you're just a classic NIMBY who doesn't want building?
Yes.
Because you've had enough?
Probably be right. Yes, because I think not in my backyard is already enough in my backyard. Frankly, enough is enough 100, 200, 300 houses ago.
When I was doing the surveys, it was fairly obvious that most people didn't want any. They felt that there'd been enough.
In a recent survey, 85% of villagers said they'd only support 15 or fewer new homes.
And then actually not necessarily an appetite to make the village so different. We don't want a feeling that they didn't want Bacton to become a town. It's been a lovely little village for a long time.
Bacton isn't alone. Several villages in mid-Suffolk are seeing hundreds of new homes. A few years ago, the district wasn't meeting housing targets, which triggered a national planning rule allowing more development to get permission in mid-Suffolk.
That has meant over the past decade, the number of new homes being added here has gone from around 280 to more than 1,200, reaching the second highest growth rate in England.
Well, basically, it almost becomes a free-for-all.
The new government is looking at strengthening the policy and setting higher house building targets.
Yes, we're building at this rate at the moment, but equally, the new government target is just setting that bar a little bit higher. So if there is a blip, we're going to fall under that target again, and it will, quote, let rip all over again if we are not careful.
Mid-Suffolk District Council says it now has a local plan which is guiding new development. House builders point to the hundreds of thousands of pounds in community contributions they're making, as well as providing dozens of affordable homes. Each development should also have demonstrated it's sustainable. And Bacton says it'll continue to welcome newcomers, but not plans for more homes. Ben Schofield, BBC Look East.
Well, Ben is here now. Let me get this right, because Mid-Suffolk was actually building too few houses around a decade ago, but now recently there's been a boom.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly right. And Bacton is just a symptom of that. There are other villages that are also seeing hundreds of homes either being built or in the planning pipeline. Now, I said in my film that Mid-Suffolk wasn't seeing enough homes being built. Let's drill down into some of the detail there. First, a number for you, 4,796 homes. That was the target, the overall target for the decade between March 2013 and March 2023. The number of homes Mid-Suffolk should have been building. How many did they build? Well, this many, 5,718 new homes added in the district. So they exceeded their target by 922 homes. That's 19% more than they needed to. So you can see how that pendulum swings. And actually, interestingly, looking at the data, the affordability of new homes in Mid Suffolk actually went down. They became more expensive to buy relative to local incomes.
So is this going to be happening elsewhere as well?
Well, it's certainly a possibility that it could happen elsewhere. Mid Suffolk lost what was called its 5-year housing land supply. Not enough homes were being built, and it couldn't say for certain that there were enough sites to deliver homes to meet the need for growth over a 5-year period. And that meant that under the national planning rules, there was a presumption in favour of sustainable development. It was easier to get planning permission on areas of land that perhaps hadn't been earmarked for development. Now, the new Labour government wants to build 1.5 million homes. It wants to strengthen that 5-year land supply rule and to make local areas deliver more houses. They are increasing house building targets. So yes, the short answer is that could happen elsewhere.
Ben, thank you very much. And on the subject of housing, tomorrow night we'll have a special report about concerns over the quality of new build homes. Stay with us, there's lots more to come.